Well, there it is, folks. After 4 years of hovering over these coffee trees, I finally have 2 ripe cherries. Okay, the cherries, these blossoms came out last year, just about this time, maybe a little later into the spring. And we got all these coffee cherries pretty soon, but it's been taken until now for at least 2 to ripen. The others are starting to ripen. So this is my very, very first harvest, and I'm going to take these 2 cherries, and we're going to open them up and see what's inside, because I've been dying to see what's in these coffee cherries. Now, it's hard to see in the thing, but the scale, these are probably just a little bit bigger than cranberries. Okay, so let me reach in there. I'm told you're supposed to turn it. This is what they mean by picking cherries. Twist it a little bit. It's supposed to come off. That's a little harder than that. Wow, these are hard to get off. Well, maybe they're not ready yet. I'm just going to take one. Okay, before we go and open up that cherry, I'm going to introduce you to, this is the parent tree that was taken from. And one thing I've learned about coffee trees, they're very, very diverse from tree to tree to tree, even of the same batch. This one has very dark green, lush leaves, and it's actually sporting lots of cherry blossoms. It looks like we're going to have a massive harvest this year off this tree. Okay, where the one right next to it, you can see the edges of the leaves are singed, and you can see the leaves aren't quite as dark green. Okay, this tree, which came from the same, oh, and it's got one little bitty cherry that grew at the same time, but it's not nowhere near ripe. This tree does not like the sun as much as this guy does. So I've actually put him in the area, actually I've pulled him back. He was a little more forward. So he gets more of the morning sun. So I can hopefully reduce the singeing on the leaves, as you see, because the back leaves over here, which don't get as much sun, are perfectly fine. Okay, so like I'm telling you, these trees are different from tree to tree to tree. They're very diverse species. And this one was bought at the same time, and it has virtually no cherries on it. Okay, so let me go show you some of the other trees. This tree is just as healthy as the one in there, but it doesn't look like it's going to have very many blossoms this year. But you can see it actually grows more like a vine. It's hard to see before it grows up. And this guy, he's a little shrill. He needs a little bit of water. He's a little dehydrated. He's okay, but he's not blossoming this year. And here we have our 2 skyscrapers. These guys grow pretty much straight up. Now this tree over here, which is almost the height of the window, this tree actually came from the Kona coffee farm on Hawaii, and it's designed to be in direct sunlight, and it's doing actually fine. It actually has some babies. I don't know if you can see them. It actually came, there's some cherries. It's got some cherries down here as well. These blossomed over Christmas, but I didn't even know it. And you can see some of the blossoms didn't get, what do you call it, fertilized. That's because these are self-fertilizing, but I guess if you have insects, it works a lot better. So this summer, when the other ones blossom, I may throw them outside if it's warm enough. This tree is another one of the set where the other one came from. And this one has had no problem growing up tall. I mean, so you can see the diversity of these trees. They're just pretty much all over the place as far as characteristics and their tolerance of sunlight and their tolerance of watering. One of the trees I killed by overwatering. What are you doing? Did I say you could touch my cherry? It's got to be in the middle of everything. So here's where we're going to open up the cherry, see what's inside, see what it tastes like too. I've been dying to see what a coffee cherry tastes like. Do you mind? Seriously, dude. Okay, I got to set up. Hold on. Okay, I placed a dime here for comparison. And I don't know if it's as ripe as it could be, but I am so curious to see what's in a coffee cherry. Now, what's supposed to be in the cherry are the pits are the actual coffee beans, and there should be 2 pits or 2 coffee beans in each cherry. Unless you get the kind of coffee that's called pea berry coffee, then in that case you get 1 pit in the cherry. Now, they don't normally do anything with the cherries but discard them, but you can buy from Amazon, you can buy coffee cherry juice, but it's actually mixed with apple juice to make it, I don't know why, I don't know what to call it. I believe it's for the same thing they do with cranberry juice cocktail, because cranberries are bitter, and I bet you coffee cherries are bitter too, and that's why when you purchase that coffee cherry juice, it's mixed with apple juice to make it sweeter. But we'll find out. Oh, look at that. Most of it, that's interesting. Most of the cherry is the pit. This is the coffee bean right here. I would thought that it'd be a lot bigger or smaller, whatever. That's interesting. Wow, that's big. I think it's inside of something. Now, these first coffee beans, because this is the first tree that grew, I'm going to try to plant these, see if I can't propagate a coffee tree. I'm going to try over the years, it's one of these back projects I spend a little bit of time on, see if I can't get a coffee tree that can grow in colder weather. Let me see if this smells like, I don't know, it smells like vegetable. Doesn't have a, it's not like sweet smelling like a, it actually smells more like, it smells like when you open pea pods, it's pea pod covers, that's what it smells like. It's slightly sweet. But I think the deal is, I think if I let these ripen a little better, they'd be a little bit bigger and juicier. I mean, it's just, it's got a flavor. It's not bitter. Yeah. It has a consistency of pea pods. Just slightly bit sweet. Again, that may be because I picked them too early and they're not sweet yet. But they're definitely a lot. Oh yeah, the next time I harvest a cherry, I'll actually eat one of the beans because these should be soft. They should be soft. They should not be hard, because the reason why they're hard when you buy green beans is because they dry them out, so they're basically dried. These should be very soft and tender, but I'm going to try to see if those will actually root. So if the next one, I'll try to actually eat the coffee bean and see what it tastes like. Anyhow, that's all I got on that for now. Thank you for watching.